Don't be defensive or clingy to your money. What do I mean? Let me just put it on the board. They say if you think it, you do what? You ink it, okay? Don't be what we call defensive or you see, when you say nor clingy, what does it exactly mean? To be defensive and to be clingy, okay? You know what? I'm going to give you a simple analogy before I start to explain my point. And as I do that, guess what? I usually upload a video each and every day. And by the way, go ahead and like the video. It does not cost you anything. And make sure just next to my subscribers, hit that subscription button. There is a small button written subscribe. Hit that magical button. Why? I upload a video each and every day talking about investments. That's why. What does it mean to be defensive or clinging? To be defensive, I'm going to use this simple case scenario. Why do you think the soldiers of any given country are called defensive? Or for example, in Kenya, we call them Kenya Defense Forces, KDF. In Israel, they call them IDF, Israel Defense Forces. If you go to any, they're called defense. We've never heard of something like offense forces. To defend is to protect yourself from things that are coming in to you, okay? But to offensive is to attack, Now, come back now. Forget about the defense forces and what have you. Let's now think about money. Most of the people you find, over 85, not even 85, over even 95% of people are defensive to their money. What happens is that you draw a very big barrier between you, your money, and the investment. So it's you and the money. Assuming this is me, well, obviously this is me. Don't assume this is me. And then say this is mine. Now you can assume this is my money. Now what happens? This is the money. Then I create a very big defense, or rather sort of a barrier between the action of investing. So you find most of the people are so defensive, sort of they clingy, or sort of you hold back your cash. You don't want to do anything. All right. Probably a simple word to use in place of defensive. You can say people are hoarders. To hold is to hold of something. For example, say you're a farmer, you harvest your maize, you keep it somewhere. By the way, that's a very bad character sometimes. You find people are buying something like a rice, sugar or something, and then they hold that thing, they keep it somewhere, they create a problem, and once the price has increased, then they resell it. That's not good. By the way, biblically, we actually deny not to do that. So now what happens? Now what, but for the purposes of investment, and when you are doing so, at least do it with the leverage of understanding, so that you don't again hold and cause crisis and what have you. Okay, now the point is, hoarders or defensive, those people who defend their money, they never take the action of investment. Why? They give themselves excuses. Oh, I don't want to lose my money, I don't want to risk in anything and what have you. And once you become a defender of your money, you become that spirit that can be manipulated. And this is the people who you find that get manipulated by the insurance company. They tell you, we know you are a defender, but of course they never tell you that. We know you are a defender, you fear, you don't want to lose your money. Let's speak your language. Of course the language is it. Let's speak the language of life insurance. Let's speak the language of, how about you do this? You know what? Anything can happen. Bring us your cash. We keep it somewhere. After 10 years, after 20 years, you're going to get your cash. And by the way, that is an investment. No, it's not an investment. So what they do, they take your money because you don't want to risk. Simply by getting those things, you're simply telling them, I don't risk myself, but you can take the money and go risk it for me. You get what I'm saying? So when you play that naivety because you're defending your money, that's the problem. Let's go to the other one. Clingy. Clingy, these people who, to detach money from themselves is a bit hard and complicated. They're so clingy to that money. They don't speak the language of investment. They just want to hold money, get money, get money, get money, get money. And that moment, you can actually get yourself, you know what? Clinginess sometimes it can be actually be sort of confused by sort of greedy or something of sort. They even cling to themselves. They cannot even spend on upgrading themselves in terms of the way you dress, the way you think, the way you articulate your issues, self-growth, economic. You get what I'm saying? So these are two things that you're supposed to avoid them as much as you can as far as the cash is concerned. Why? Because when you become defensive, there is one or there are two characteristics of people who have achieved a lot in life. I repeat, there are two characteristics that has in common for people who have achieved a lot in life. Go ahead and ask them, are they risk takers? Yes, they are. Number one, simply saying they are risk takers, okay? The risk takers, they take risk. Number two, they are crazy, right? They are crazy. What do I mean? They are crazy. I'm not saying that they are insane. What I mean by craziness here is there are guys who see things differently from the majority. And obviously, when tend to, by the way, have you ever tried to view things differently from the majority? You tend to be like an outcast. They tend to think as if you're you're out of this place and what have you. People, because more than people, actually everyone whom you meet on the way, they try to bring you back to normality, to normality. And I love to give this example of in Swahili we say, let me not use Swahili because some of you guys don't understand Swahili, but the point is this. You see, we grown-ups, we are just simply the young ones who have actually grown up. But there's some of the things that how many of here you are matured, you're an adult, and you love to go into the bouncing castles and jump and feel good? How many of you, when you take your kids, you feel like you want to jump into the thing and enjoy yourself? I do. But the thing is this, you feel like, okay, fine, I would go throw myself into the thing, but at the same time, you're like, okay, then what would be the other guys actually think about? I mean, so you kind of, curtail it down and something of sort. So the reality should be a risk taker and also a crazy person in terms of the investment. Okay, so what happens? Don't be defensive. Now that I've explained what is being defensive and being clingy, what exactly are you supposed to do? Now, be offensive. Be offensive. Be offensive. Okay. To be offensive simply means is to attack. Is to attack. And what are you attacking here? Obviously, I'm not saying like a physical attack. I'm attacking in terms of investment. Opportunities are there. You throw the cash to get the back your money, and of course, with some babies and all those kind of things, you're out there, So being offensive simply means you taking those opportunities, and obviously, you must have these two characteristics. The crazy thing, and of course, what you call the risk takers. So when you're offensive, you throw yourself out there, get those opportunities that are out there. You make as much as you can, and of course, I'm not ruling out the fact that you aren't supposed to be defensive. To some extent, defensive character, sometimes it helps. Why? Never forget this. The first principle of money is not even about investing it. It's to prolong the ownership. It's not to lose the money. And then the next thing, or the next rule, is to invest it so that at least you can grow something. But the rule number 2 should not violate the rule number 1. Okay, but what I always tell people is this: the more you risk, of course, the more you get. And I'm not telling you to go and bet and do gambling. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you investing, going out there, grabbing that opportunity, throwing your cash. Because let me tell you one thing: the easiest way to make money is to use money. We use money to make money. When you don't have the money, I always tell you, use your energy, use your skill, use your time, trade those for the exchange of money. But once you get the money, stop playing the game of using the energy and the skill and what have you. You cannot. Oh my goodness. I really wish I can tell you this, guys. There is no way you can take your money and close it somewhere and then go back to keep on trading your skill, your time, your energy, or whatever, and you still have the money. That is not the wise thing to do. It's okay, you can continue trading your skill, your time, and what have you. Also use the money that you have enclosed somewhere. Use those two things in combination. Let them work in synergy. That way you can prepare yourself to achieving greatness. That is what you do. So be offensive. Be an individual who actually goes out there. And well, I know, even me, I'm not saying that I'm free of I'm not saying I'm not free of defensive mechanism. No, I still have those elements. As a human being, you must have those elements. And by the way, sometimes achieving or doing something that you're gonna achieve greatness, it comes with the discomfort. The moment, like, for example, I want to grab an opportunity, I want to invest my cash, I usually feel like, whew, wow, okay, fine. I have to if I can't do this, I can't get that what I want. It's like, you know what? There is a Swahili saying that says, Mficha uchi hazai. Simply means there's no way you can tell me, how can I get my own kid and you want to get pregnant? You cannot bypass that. You get what I'm saying? So the point remains to be, you must be an individual who knows, as much as you usually have those issues, those kind of, drawbacks, you feel like you don't want to risk that money, you have to go overboard. You have to go beyond that. And they say what? Go through your fear to see the beauty of the other side. That is exactly what you do. That's what we call being offensive with your money. But this is what you do. At what percentage should you be offensive and defensive? Again, that depends with the risk or the amount of money that you can afford to lose. There is a video that I made and I said, go ahead and check what we call the affordable loss. What is your affordable loss? What is my affordable loss? The reason why you find people are so bitter with life is that they never define their affordable loss. If today I give you 100,000, let's say this 100,000 is your cash. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Take a pen. You can pause the video, take a pen, and come back and watch this video. If I give you 100,000, is your money. It's under your name. How much can you lose out of this money and you comfort? You don't have to tell us. It's not a big deal. You don't have to create, commotion. It's okay. You are at peace. You are at peace with it. How much out of these 100,000? Some of you will tell you 200, I mean not 220,000. Some of you say 40,000. Some of you will be like, hey, Joseph, only 1,000. It's the only money that I can lose and be at peace. It depends. Now, define how much, and always, before you even invest, always take this case scenario. If I give you 100,000, how much will you lose and you are comfortable? You don't have to tell us you lost. You don't have to explain. You don't have to change your moods tomorrow morning. You're just okay, like nothing has changed. How much? If that much maybe to you is 10,000, let's say 10,000, you lose 10,000 out of 100,000, you're still at peace, then this is your affordable loss. Now, this is what you become offensive with. You're very much offensive with. You're very much simply investing is, by the way, investing is putting across that what you can afford to lose, in other words. And of course, another definition of investing is buying yourself a day that you don't have to work. Okay? Now, remember one thing. The more you can afford to lose in the name of investing, obviously, the more you have the chances of getting. So the lesser it is, for example, let's say one invests the 10K, that is the affordable loss to you. Someone else, another affordable loss is 1K. Let's say all these guys invest in a money market fund and they are waiting for a return at the end of the month. I mean, these are simple mathematics. This guy will get more than this guy. Why? Because the bigger the affordable loss, of course, the bigger the what? The returns. But just because I said you're supposed to risk a lot does not mean now you go there and risk. Somebody will be like, oh, okay, so if the more I risk, the more, okay, then you end up risking the entire stage of the cash. Now it's like saving. You know, there are people who oversave. You know, there's something called like oversaving and also denying yourself the real things. For example, let's say you can manage to save 20K per month. And this K, let's say, this 10K, 20K, let's say maybe you have two types of saving. We have the long term and you have the short term. Okay. So what happens? You're supposed to save less of this to the long term, more of this into the short term. Why? Let's say, for example, you take like 15K, you save to a long term, and then 5K into a short term. Guess what happens now? What if a need arises? Then the need needs 7K. What does it tell you? You're going to go and disturb your what? You're going to go and disturb your long term. And you don't want to do that. So what you do is, say, for example, it's 20K. You can actually decide to save like something like, you'd rather even save 9K for long term that you are sure. And then the rest 11K, you can save for a short term. If a need arises all the way from 1K to 10 to 11,000, you can be able to handle it. Your long term has not been disturbed. And the example that I'm giving on this video is, most of you, I know you have ever had something called the piggy bank. Piggy bank, what is it? Piggy bank is that, piggy bank is the official name, yeah? Is that thing that you have it in your house, yeah? Maybe a can or whatever the thing it is. And then you say, every time I meet 20 shilling coin or whatever the coin I'm going to get, I'm going to be throwing inside that piggy bank. And then the moment you go and you oversave and you throw, the next minute you are broke. You get yourself an axe and you smash the thing and you get the money out because you're oversaving. What you're supposed to balance. You save that what is not disturbed or what cannot deter you from the thing. Okay, fine. I'm going to explain this in a whole set of a video, explain to you what is oversaving, what is saving, and how are you supposed to balance all these things so that you don't deny yourself the reality. There are people you tell them to save. They save everything. They save everything to a point whereby even the basic needs are at risk. Come on. We don't do that. Anyway, guys, if you'd like me to make that video, go ahead and tell me in the comment section. True, I would like to make that video, or I would like you to make that video so we understand more. Yeah, because your command is always or rather your wish is my command at all the time. So make sure that you leave me a like. Make sure that as well you share the video in your position too, and go ahead and grab that number of mine from the description of this specific video. We can have the conversation. For now, it's a goodbye. See you the next one.